Just wait for 1 and 2 minutes. After that, we will start our class. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Only 8 people are there. Where is the other? Okay, we shall start our class. Today we are going for the new part, that is jet transform. Jet transform is one of the thing or one of the transformation. In the previously we have already learned the Laplace transformation as well as our Fourier transformation. But in this case, Laplace transformation, function transform into function. But in case of the jet transformation, it is the sequence transfer into function. Here un is the sequence where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, dot dot. Now we are going for the definition of the jet transformation. If the function un is defined for discrete number n equal to 0, 1, 2, dot dot, and un equal to 0 for n less than 0, then its jet transformation is defined to be z of un equal to capital Uz, and it is written as summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power z to the power minus n. Whenever the infinite series convergence, the inverse z transformation is written as z inverse uz equal to un. If this infinite series un into z to the power minus n summation n equal to 0 to infinity, if it is converge, then inverse z transformation also exists. This inverse z transformation is written as z inverse u of z equal to un. So here the un means the sequence. This sequence transfer z of un, that is z transformation of the sequence un transfers into the uz. Z means the a plus ib, the complex number. Z means a plus ib, the complex number. Now, if we insert a particular complex number z into the power series number 1, where if we insert instead of z putting that the value of the z, the resulting value of z un will be a complex number. Thus, the z transformation uz is a complex valued function of a complex variable small z. The small z is the complex number, and generally we know that in the Cartesian part z can be written that a plus ib, where a be a real and small I means root over minus 1. So this is the definition of z transformation. Z of un equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power minus n, where obviously n is a discrete function. N started from 1, 2, 3 dot dot. When n less than 0, then un equal to 0. So we have to remember this z of un equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power minus n. This is the definition of z transformation. So now we are going about some problem. So that z of a to the power n equal to z by z minus a. We have to show this. Z transformation of a to the power n equal to z by z minus small a. So from the definition of z transformation, we know that z of un is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power minus n. So here un is given that a to the power n. So z of a to the power n equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power n z to the power minus n. So it can be written that summation n equal to 0 to infinity a by z whole to the power n a to the power n into z to the power minus n. It can be written a by z whole to the power n. Now if we put n equal to 0, then something to the power 0 1. If we put n equal to 1, then a by z. If we put n equal to 2, then a by z whole square. If we put n equal to 3, then a by z whole cube, plus dot dot, as it is the infinite series. So it can be written as 1 plus 1 plus a by z plus a by z whole square plus a by z whole cube plus dot dot dot. But it can be written as 1 minus a by z whole to the power minus 1. Because of that, from here we know that 1 minus x whole to the power minus 1 is equal to 1 plus x square plus x cube plus dot dot dot. This is infinite series. From the binomial theorem we know that, infinite binomial theorem, we know that 1 minus x whole to the power minus 1 equal to 1 plus x square plus x cube plus dot dot. Now if we say that a by z equal to x, then it is 1 plus x square plus x cube plus dot dot dot. So it is similar to this. So we can write that 1 minus x whole to the power minus 1. So we are right here 1 minus x means a by z whole to the power minus 1. So it causes that 1 by 1 minus a by z, as it is the to the power minus 1. So it can be written 1 by 1 minus a by z. So z will be coming into the numerator and it will be z minus a. It was our proof. So z transformation of a to the power n equal to z by z minus a. Is this part is understood by everybody? Is this part is understood by everybody? If not, please send me where you are getting the confusion. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this part is understood.
Yes, sir.
We just use the definition of z to the power n and this infinite series expression. So it is coming z of a to the power n equal to z by z minus a. Now another proof was given there. Z of n to the power p is equal to minus of z dd z of n to the power p minus 1, where n being a positive integer. We have to prove this. Z transformation of n to the power p is equal to minus z dd of z transformation of n to the power p minus 1. Now look at the problem. Z transformation of n to the power p, it can be written that summation n equal to 0 to infinity. Instead of un we are putting n to the power p into z to the power minus n. So it can be written that z to the power minus n can be written z into z to the power minus n minus 1. So we are writing z to the power minus n as z into z to the power minus n minus 1, and that z coming here. So z is coming here, summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p z to the power minus n minus 1. Then we can write down this z into summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p can be written that n into n to the power p minus 1 into z to the power, if we take common minus from here, minus n plus 1. So z to the power z transformation of n to the power p can be written that z into summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 n z to the power n plus 1. This is as 1. Now we are putting p p into p minus 1. If we put p minus 1, then z of n to the power p minus 1 will be summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 z to the power minus n. Z transformation of n to the power p minus 1 will be summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 z to the power minus n. We are find out the, from the definition of z transformation, we are find out the z transformation of n to the power p minus 1. Now we are differentiating both sides with respect to z. Then it will be coming that ddz of z to the power n minus p. It will be coming summation n equal to 0 to infinity with respect to z. So this part is unchanged. So n into p to the power minus 1 n to the power p minus 1. Now z to the power minus n with respect to z, if we make the derivative of z to the power minus n with respect to z, then it will be coming minus n z to the power minus of n minus of 1, that is minus of n plus 1. So if we take common this minus from here, then it will be coming summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 into n into z to the power minus n plus 1. Now look at our number 1. It was given that z to the power np is equal to z into this. Now summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 into n z to the power minus n plus 1. So we can write down instead of this is equal to minus of dt z of z to the power this. So minus of, if we divide this part with n, then it will become with z. Then if we divide this part with z, then z to the power z of n to the power p by z is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 n z to the power minus n plus 1. Look at here, it is given this. So instead of this part, we can write down that z transformation of n to the power p into z. Now from here, if we multiply by this one, then it will be z into dd z of z transformation of n to the power p minus 1 is equal to minus of z into n to the power p. So dividing both sides, multiplying both sides by minus, we got z transformation of n to the power p is equal to minus z dd z of z to the power dd z of z transformation of n to the power p minus 1. So this part is understood. Here just we are find out the value of z to the power n minus z transformation of n to the power p minus 1. From the definition we can write down that z transformation of n to the power p minus 1 is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity. Instead of un we are putting n to the power p minus 1 into z to the power minus n. Now we are differentiating both sides with respect to z. So this is the z transformation, so it cannot be differentiated, only we can write down that dd z of z transformation of n to the power p minus 1. Summation is the constant, n to the power p minus 1 is the constant, so they are remaining constant here. Now we have to find out the dd z of z to the power minus n. dd z of z to the power minus n will be minus n z to the power minus of n plus 1. It is written here. So from here we can write down, taking this minus here, minus summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 n z to the power minus of n plus 1. So now we are putting this value from equation number 1. Summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 n z to the power n plus 1. Look at here. If we divided this one by z, then it will be coming that if z transformation of n to the power p is divided by z, then it will be coming summation n equal to 0 to infinity n to the power p minus 1 n z to the power minus of n plus 1. So instead of this we can put that z to the power in z transformation of n to the power p by z. So we are putting this one here. Now we are cross multiplication by z, then it is coming z dd z of z transformation of n to the power p minus 1 is equal to minus of z transformation of n to the power p. Now multiplying both sides by minus sign, then we got z transformation of n to the power p is equal to minus z dt z of z transformation of n to the power p minus 1. Is it clear? Is this understood by everybody? If someone has any confusion, then they can tell me where the confusion getting on. Some recurrence formulas are given here. Z transformation of 1 equal to z by z minus 1. Z transformation of n is equal to z by z minus 1 whole square. Z transformation of n square means z square plus z divided by z minus 1 whole cube. If it is z cube, then z cube plus 4z square plus z by z minus 1 whole to the power 4. For z to the power 5, z to the power 4, 11z cube, 11z square, z by z minus 1 whole to the power 5. All those things will be coming from the our given formula. So these are the desired result of the some useful result recurrence relation formula for the z transformation. Z transformation of 1 means z by z minus 1. Z transformation of n is z by z minus 1 whole square. N square means z square plus z by z minus 1 whole cube. When it is given z to the power 1, then it is z minus 1. When it is n, then it is n plus 1. N square, then it is n cube. N cube, then it is n to, z minus 1 whole to the power 4. When it is n to the power 4, then it is denominator z minus 1 whole to the power 5. So we can say that the power of n is increases by 1 into the denominator with the help of z minus 1. This is the formula which will be required to solve the problem. Now there is the linear property of the Z transformation. If ABC be any constants and Un, Vn, Wn be any discrete function, then Z transformation of Aun plus Bvn plus Cwn, where A, B, C are the constant, it can be written that A into Z transformation of Un plus B into Z transformation of Vn plus C into Z transformation of Wn. So it can be make the scattered part where A, B, C are constant, so constant part will be coming out of the Z transformation. So here we can prove it by definition of Z transformation of Aun plus Bvn plus Cwn. It can be written that summation n equal to 0 to infinity, putting instead of Un, Aun plus Bvn plus Cwn into Z to the power minus n. Now after multiplication, it will be coming A summation n equal to 0 to infinity Un z to the power minus n plus B summation n equal to 0 to infinity Vn z to the power minus n plus C summation n equal to 0 to infinity Wn into z to the power minus n. So this means the z of Z transformation of Un, that means the Z transformation of Vn, and that means the Z transformation of Wn. So Z transformation of Aun plus Bvn plus Cwn equal to A into Z transformation of Un plus B into Z transformation of Vn plus C into Z transformation of Wn. Together sum can be written into the scattered sum. That is called the linear property of the Z transformation. This property also holds for our Fourier transformation and Laplace transformation also. Now another thing which is not occurred for the linear Laplace transformation, that is the damping rule. Damping rule, it is very, very important. Look at here. Damping rule is said that if Z transformation of Un equal to capital Uz, then Z transformation of a to the power minus n into Un is equal to capital U into Az. Actually this damping rule is just similar to the first shifting property of the Laplace transformation, isn't it? It is similar to the first shifting property of the Laplace transformation. Proof is given here. By definition, Z transformation of e to the power minus n Un, it will be given that summation n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power minus n Un z to the power minus n. So from here we can write down summation n equal to 0 to infinity Un into Az whole to the power minus n. That means U of Az. So here some note is given, Z transformation of a to the power n Un, that is U of Z by A. It can be written here, U of Z by A. Observation, the geometric factor a to the power minus n when mod a less than 1 damps the function Un. Hence the name is damping rule. If mod of a less than 1, then it is damp the given function. That's why this rule also known as damping rule. So damping rule, we have to remember this one. Z transformation of a to the power minus n into un is equal to u of az. Now some standard results are given. You have to remember this 6 formula. Number 1, Z transformation of n a to the power n, that is az by z minus a whole square. Z transformation of n square a to the power n, then a z square plus a square z by z minus a whole cube. Here n square, it is whole cube. Here n, it is whole square. When we take that Z transformation of cos n theta, you have to remember this one very well. Z transformation of cos n theta, that will be z into z minus cos theta by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1. Z into z minus cos theta by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1. And Z transformation of sin n theta is equal to z sin theta by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1. In both of the cases, sin cos denominator is the same. Denominator is z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1. In case of sin n theta, in case of cos n theta. Both of the cases, the denominator are the same. For cos, it is cos is coming here z minus cos theta into z, but for sin it is z into sin theta. So you have to remember this two formula very well in number 3 and 4. Because of that, it helps to solve our some problem. And Z transformation of a to the power n cos n theta. If it is a to the power n into cos n theta, then numerator of the cos n theta will be unchanged. Only a will be coming here. Z into z minus a cos theta by z square minus 2az cos theta plus a square. Now for Z transformation of a to the power n sin n theta is equal to az sin theta by z square minus 2az cos theta plus a square. Here also both of the cases denominator is the equal, only the numerator part is changed. So we can remember this very well for sin n theta and cos n theta. Using these two formula it is coming. These are the some standard result for the Z transformation. We have to remember this, and on solving of the problem we have to use this one. So proof of first one, Z transformation of n is equal to z by z minus 1 whole square. We know that Zn equal to z by z minus 1 whole square. So n into a to the power Z transformation of n is equal to z by z minus 1 whole square. So Z transformation of n into a to the power n is equal to u of a inverse z. Actually u of z by a actually. That is written here a inverse z. U of z by a. Look at here, it was given here. Z transformation of a to the power n un is equal to u of z by a. So z into a to the power minus 1 we can write down, that is written here. U of a to the power minus 1 z. So instead of z we are putting a to the power minus 1 z, a to the power minus 1 z. After calculation we got az by z minus a whole square. And z of n square was given z square plus z by z minus 1 whole cube. So z of n square into a to the power n, it can be written u of a to the power minus 1 into z. So instead of z we are putting a inverse z, that whole square plus a inverse z by a inverse z minus 1 whole cube. Now find the value of this, that is z square by a square plus z by a. Here it is z by a minus 1. So after taking the LCM it will be z minus a by a whole cube. So it will be coming z square plus az by a square, and it is coming z minus a whole cube by a cube. This is a cube a cut, so 1a will be here. z square a plus a square z by z minus a whole cube. And proof of 3 and 4 is given at a time. We know that z transformation of 1 equal to z by z minus 1. So z transformation of e to the power I n theta. E to the power I n theta means cos theta plus I sin theta. So it can be written z transformation of e to the power minus I theta whole to the power n into 1. So instead of z it will be coming e to the power minus I theta, e to the power minus I theta. So instead of z it will be coming z e to the power minus I theta. So all of the cases we are write down instead of z e to the power minus I theta. Here also z e to the power minus I theta minus 1. So if we take common this I theta, then it will be coming z plus e to the power I theta by z. Then it is coming that z into z minus e to the power I theta e to the power I theta. Z minus e to the power minus I theta by z minus e to the power plus I theta. That is z square minus e to the power I theta. Actually, to remove this one z plus e to the power I theta, we are multiplying the numerator by z minus e to the power I theta. Z minus e to the power I theta. So it will be coming z minus e to the power I theta into z minus e to z. It must be z minus, so it will be z plus, right? Otherwise z minus it, oh here it is minus, it is taken as plus, as I is given here. So we are multiplying numerator and denominator by z minus e to the power I theta. So z e to the power minus I n theta equal to z into, after calculation, e to the power I theta means cos theta plus I sin theta. So it is cos theta minus I sin theta by z square minus z into e to the power I theta plus e to the power minus I theta plus this. So if we take that e to the power I theta plus e to the power minus I theta, that means the 2 cos theta. Because of that, it is means cos theta plus I sin theta e to the power I theta, and e to the power minus I theta means cos theta minus I sin theta. So 2 I sin theta minus I sin theta is cut, so 2 cos theta is coming here, so 2z cos theta, 2z cos theta is coming here. So from here z into z minus this part is coming, that z into z minus cos theta minus I into z cos theta. So if we break it into the real and imaginary part, one part will be z into z minus cos theta by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1 plus I into minus z into cos theta. This part is coming here. So if we take this part a plus ib form, then it is coming that z transformation of cos n theta equal to z into z minus cos theta by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1, and z cos n theta equal to z by this is equal to this. Here you have to need the proof by yourself. You just try it in your copy, then it will be clear to you people. All those calculations are given here, yet if it is not possible to you, then you are just making the calculation, then it will be clear to you. Number 5, we have to prove that z into cos n theta equal to z into z cos theta by this. So z of a to the power n cos theta is equal to, we are taking instead, as a to the power n is multiplied by cos n theta, so z should be transferred by a inverse z. So all those things we are putting a inverse z. Then after calculation we got it. Similarly, number 6 also, z is replaced by a to the power minus 1 z. Then after calculation you got it. So 6 relation was given and also the proof also given. You need to correct this one. Maybe this part is coming into your semester exam. Now shifting un to the right. In case of our Laplace transformation, there was two shifting property. One is first shifting, another second shifting. But here it is shifting to right, another shifting to left. Shifting to right property is if z of un equal to capital UZ, then z of un minus k is equal to z to the power minus k UZ. Obviously k greater than 0. Now we have to prove this. By definition, z of un minus k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity un minus k z to the power minus n. Now we are putting n equal to 0, then it will be coming, sorry, k equal to 0, then it will be coming, putting k equal to 0, we are putting n equal to 0, then u0 z to the power minus k. If we put here n equal to k, then it is u0 z to the power minus k. If we put n equal to k minus 1, right, n equal to k minus 1, then k minus 1, that is u1 into z to the power minus of k plus 1. We are putting here n equal to k plus 1. If we put n equal to k plus 1, then k plus 1 minus k, that is u1 into minus z to the power minus k plus 1, plus if we put n equal to n k plus 2, then it will be coming u2 z to the power minus of k plus 2, like that. Now from here if we take common z to the power minus k, then it will be coming u0 plus u1 z to the power minus 1 plus u2 z to the power minus 2 plus dot dot dot. That means z to the power minus k summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power minus n. So z of u of n minus k, z transformation of u n minus k is equal to z to the power minus k u of z, as this is equal to uz. Z transformation of un equal to uz. So this is the definition of z transformation. So we can write down it as small z of un, that is capital uz. Here we are putting n equal to k, then k plus 1, then k plus 2, then we got this. And you can change this one, n equal to 0. So you are putting here n equal to k to infinity, right? Just change here summation n equal to k to infinity. Then your confusion will be not occurred. Here just change it n equal to k to infinity. Note, this rule is very useful in application of to difference equations. Now here shifting un to the left. If z of un equal to uz, then it was for left, right, it was the right, then it is n minus k. When it is left, shifting un to the left, then it is n plus k. So u of that is z to the power k uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1 plus minus z2, this, you can write this. So they told that z transformation of un plus k will be z to the power k into uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1 minus u2 z to the power minus 2 minus dot dot uk minus 1 z to the power minus of k minus 1, like this. So proof is given here, z transformation of un plus k, that means summation n equal to 0 to infinity un plus k z to the power minus n. So n equal to 0 to infinity un plus k dot z to the power k into z to the power minus k into z to the power minus n, z to the power minus n. So we are adding 1 z to the power k, again multiplied 1 z to the power minus k. So this is given 1. So 1 can be written as z to the power k into z to the power minus k. Now we are taking this z to the power k out of the summation. So z to the power k summation n equal to 0 to infinity un minus k z to the power. Now here z to the power n minus k. If we take common minus, that that is n plus k. So z to the power k summation n equal to 0 to infinity un z to the power n z to the power minus n minus summation n equal to 0 to k minus 1 un z to the power minus n. Now z to the power this is equal to here summation un z to the power n, that means uz. Now putting n equal to 0 1 2 dot dot, then it is u0 z to the power 0 1 only u0. When we put n equal to 1, that is un z to the power minus 1. When we put n equal to 2, u2 z to the power minus 2. When lastly we put n equal to k minus 1, then uk minus 1 z to the power minus of k minus 1, then it is proved. So from here some standard rules are given. Z of u n plus 1 means z into uz minus u0. It will be required in our to solve the difference equation. Z of u n plus 2 equal to z square. When it is n plus 2, then it is z square. uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1. When it is u of n plus 3, then it is z cube into uz minus u0 minus u1 z to the power minus 1 minus u2 z to the power minus 2. This result will be required when we are solving the difference equation, not differential equation, difference equation. This difference equation can be solved by Z transformation. So this part will be we discuss tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss this part. One problem is given, we can find out it. So that z of 1 by factorial n equal to e to the power 1 by z. Hence evaluate z of 1 by factorial n plus 1 and z of 1 by factorial n plus 2. Now we have from definition of z transformation, we can write down 1 by z transformation of 1 by factorial n is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity 1 by factorial n z to the power minus n. So we are putting n equal to 0 factorial 0 1 z to the power 0 1, that is 1. When we put n equal to 1 factorial 1 1 z to the power minus 1. When we put it is 2, then it is factorial 2 z square, that is 1 plus z to the power minus 1 by factorial 1 plus z to the power minus 2 by factorial 2 plus z to the power minus 3 by factorial 3 plus dot dot dot. So we can write down that z to the power e to the power z to the e to the power z of minus 1, that is e to the power 1 by z. So this is the definition of e to the power 1 by z. Now shifting 1 by n plus 1 unit to the left shifting unit, then we got z of 1 by n plus 1 factorial equal to z into z of this minus 1. So z into z of this means e to the power 1 by z minus 1. Then shifting this to 2 unit, then we z square e to the power z minus 1 into z to the power minus 1. This property are used here, shifting property, left shifting property are used here. Find the z transformation of unit step sequence. We are going for this one in the next step, unit step sequence, right? So tomorrow we will discuss the z transformation of unit impulse sequence or unit step sequence, right? So tomorrow our task is to find out this. Okay, thank you.